Hi, good evening. Nice to see you again in the context of pragmatic leadership, which we have been developing by various building blocks. So, since the subject of leadership is so complex, it is not all that easy to write a simple equation for developing oneself as a leader. I think we have already built enough background and context in the concept of developing oneself as a leader and why we need to do it and how to do it and so on and so forth. So, we are trying to learn different concepts which are essentially helping someone to develop his leadership capabilities. So, there is one question from time immemorial is not answered, is whether the leaders are developed or they are born. So, as there are many schools of thoughts prevailing in any subject for human perception, leadership is also falls in the category of inconclusive kind of theories. So, one theory says that the human beings cannot become a leader unless otherwise they are born with a DNA of a leader. That means that school of thought is supporting the theory that leaders are born. So another school of thought is no, leaders can be developed. So pragmatic leadership as a philosophy is supporting the theory that the leaders can be developed either by themselves or by mentoring. So this is a good news for anyone because many of us got stuck in a different levels in our career progression. We come to a conclusion that we are not born as a leader, and hence we want to become a good follower. So for such of those who are pessimistic about getting stuck in their career forward, the good news from pragmatic leadership is that there is something you can do to move forward instead of falling on the wayside because of the various environments. So we want to support the theory that leaders can be developed. So what is the basis of this argument? There are lots of theories came in. For example, atomic theory. In the early 1950, one of the scientists predicted that the matter is made up of atoms. Of course, he could not see the atom himself, but he predicted that there must be a structure called atomic structure for the material to behave in a particular way. So he could not show the atom to anyone, but he postulated theories that unless other atomic structure is like this, it cannot behave or manifest certain kind of practical experiments. So it is very important to understand that there are many things which remain as a theory just because we could not see with our own eyes the presence of atoms. So in the same way, the theory of hypothesis says that you can make an assumption and then you can test the assumption. Meaning, if you make an assumption that leaders are developed, then you can test the assumption whether, if so, what is that we need to develop. So it's the most important aspect of this pragmatic leadership theory. So then the next question comes, why I am so authentic about saying that leaders can be developed. My presumption is that in the whole of creation, the human beings are far different from the rest of the creation in terms of their faculties. So when I say faculties, we have several faculties which I will discuss and share with you in detail as we go along. Human beings have got ability to rationalize, they can make choices, they can mold their emotional quotient, they can develop certain new set of habits and groom themselves with certain capabilities by which they can take charge of the situation and their own life. So whereas if you look at the rest of the creations, maybe animals or plant, etc., they have no capabilities to alter what's happening to their life. But human beings have got this extraordinary blessings and capabilities that we can alter the situation. When I say that, for example, last centuries, there are several viruses challenge the human existence. Earlier, the plague, and then polio, then tuberculosis, SARS, and HIV, and so on and so forth. So human beings took over the challenge, and then they figured out that there is a way the human life can continue in this planet by managing these viruses. And I'm sure that COVID-19 will also be brought under control by the ingenuity of human being. So with the result, what is most important aspect is the human creation has come into this planet with certain extraordinary capabilities, uh, which is groomed and applied in the right way. We will be able to achieve any kind of positions in our life. Does that mean that everyone can become the CEO and MD of large corporation? I don't mean that. But every individual can really advance his career once he understands what is the leadership qualities he needs to develop and consciously grooms himself using his higher faculties. He will be able to occupy a much better position than what he is at this point in time. Most of the human beings, in summary, are suffering in their life because they don't know with what power they are born. If you don't know what is the power you have, obviously you cannot apply them in the right way. So, in summary, the pragmatic leadership theory believes that leaders are developed. It doesn't mean that it undermines the interest of the theory. Leaders are born, but when you say leaders are born, then rest of the people pessimistically conclude that they are not born with the leadership DNA, and hence they miss the great opportunities in their life. So going forward, we will build on this, why I am saying this, what I am saying in this session, and explain you the kind of faculties we have, and how I used in my life, and how many other leaders have used, which I described in the book through various anecdotes. So I would welcome you to buy the book and start reading now along with viewing these videos. Thank you very much for listening, and look forward to see you with more deeper subjects on this topic. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless you. Good day.